covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now, coverage you can count on.
Happening in the next 30 minutes, a life-changing moment for more than about 1,000 college grads. We're going to take you there live.
Plus, bringing much-needed mental health facilities for our youth.
And a couple of suspected drug dealers are off the street, and so is their alleged stash. But first, it's our first triple-digit day of the year, and all across the region, we are feeling the heat.
Hallelujah, right? We've finally gotten there, Howie. No, I'm kidding. I don't like it, but it's the reality. How long is it going to be here?
Well, definitely for a couple days, and Redding thought maybe today was the first day to go up to 110 because that's where Redding is headed at 106 degrees right now, leading the pack, but pretty much triple-digit heat right across the valley. Even some of those higher elevations around 98 or even 99 degrees. Okay, so while we're at it, here's our winds on the very light side, and that is good news while we continue to dry out all of that vegetation with the temperatures we have. And look at our moisture levels. Remember, 15% or less is dangerously low, and some of those spots really dropping down with those moisture levels. So how long is the heat? Well, definitely tomorrow, where our heat advisory lasts until Saturday at 11 p.m. And really quick, here's a look at our fire danger. Actually, it gets a little better for tomorrow, 101 to 105. I know winds out of the south at 15. Here's our tomorrow we will go to a moderate level of fire danger where we've been at low. But we're going to talk more about our fire weather as well as this intense heat in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Howie.
Well, new at 6, Shasta County Sheriff's deputies arrested an Anderson man on charges of arranging to meet a 14-year-old girl for sex. Investigators say 28-year-old Jaden Rosenstein texted explicit messages to an undercover decoy and was arrested today when he showed up at a prearranged location, according to authorities. Officers say that they discovered his home was actively used as an in-home daycare, and that guns and marijuana-related contraband were within reach of children. 2 children were placed in protective custody, and the Child Care Licensing Agency was notified.
The heat is not just uncomfortable, of course, it can be deadly. I spoke to Dr. Scott Flynn, medical director at Blue Shield of California, who told me lethargy is a key indicator that you need to cool down, especially for those who are very young, old, or if you have heart problems. He also said that the first heat wave of the year is the most dangerous because our bodies are not acclimated to the triple digits.
At the beginning of the summer season, like, oh my gosh, it's only in the 80s and I'm sweating already. How long does it take to acclimate toward a changing season?
In general, it's about a week to 2 weeks. Most of the research we've done has shown that there's a bunch of things that happen to adapt to heat. One is that you start to sweat more freely and in a less concentrated amount. So you actually work on how your sweat is made up and get more efficient at cooling yourself with sweat. There's also some mechanisms that are turned on biochemically. You start to produce what's called heat shock proteins, and they help your body adapt and re-regulate to the increased temperature.
Dr. Flynn recommends taking breaks often if you work outside, and of course drinking a lot of water and consuming more salt than normal. If you feel dizzy or confused, you may need to seek medical help.
With the first major heat wave of the season bringing triple digits to the northern end of the valley, people are trying to find creative and refreshing ways to cool off. And for many, that means heading straight to the water. Yeah, that's Sycamore Pool at 1 Mile Recreation Area in Bidwell Park in Chico. It's become an early summer hotspot today as temperatures soared and residents sought relief. The sounds of splashing water and playful cheers echoed through the shaded park as swimmers of all ages jumped into the pool's brisk, spring-fed waters.
How's it feel?
It feels great, man. I'm just glad it's not as hot as it's going to be yet, though.
How important is it for you guys to get out here when it's this hot?
It's unlivable without this pool.
With more scorching temperatures expected in the coming day or two, Sycamore Pool is expected to draw even larger crowds on the weekend. And take note, lifeguards will be on duty starting tomorrow. A major drug bust happened in Shasta County.
Police pulled over a driver on I-5 near Lakehead, and look at what they say they found. About 50 pounds of suspected meth and 24 pounds of suspected fentanyl. Officers arrested Angel Martinez Yanez and Luz Barragan Romero, both from Washington State. They're accused of being in possession of drugs with the intent to sell them. And they're both at the Shasta County Jail on $1 million bail. Graduation season in our area is wrapping up, but not before students at Butte College walk the stage tonight. Action News Now reporter Margot Rowe is out there live, yes, in the heat. Margot, are graduates and their families arriving yet? I can see.
Haley, if you can't tell behind me, a lot of them are already here. Graduates were asked to be here between 5 and 6 o'clock, and many of them are right now checking in, getting their numbers. And this commencement starts at 7 p.m., but over 500 graduates will be walking the stage tonight. Now, there's over 1,300 students graduating in the class of 2025, with many of them finishing in the fall and winter semester. Now, I spoke with the student speaker of this year's class, and she's graduating with her nursing assistant certification. And she told me today's not only extra special, today's extra special, as she didn't tell her parents that she's the student speaker.
I hope they like it. I really hope. They're probably going to be confused. They're going to be like, no, they're probably going to look at me in a crowd and be like, where is she? And then see me on stage. They're going to be like, what is she doing there?
And don't worry, we didn't spoil the surprise. She did say that she and her family would probably be already here, even though they do watch Action News Now, but they are already here, so they're going to be very surprised when they get here. But as many families and graduates get here, they are prepared. Butte College is prepared for the heat. They have a cooling station, medics on standby, and it might be a little too late now, but there is an area of the stadium where it is a bit shadier, but I guarantee that's probably already filled up at this point. But I'll have more of a recap of the graduation tonight at 11. Reporting live in Orville, I'm Margot Rowe for Action News Now.
Thank you, Margot. I hope you're staying cool too. And Butte College did send out an email warning people who are more vulnerable to the heat that they can watch the live stream from home if they'd like. The college does have a cooling station there, though, and medics on standby.
The Chico Police Department is asking for your help to find these two brothers who have disappeared. They've been missing, and you see their photos right there on your screen. 9-year-old Atlas Kirkendall and 10-year-old Jovian Kirkendall are at risk due to their age and lack of access to prescribed medications. They were last seen near West East Avenue and Alamo Avenue in Chico yesterday evening. Both boys are white with long brown hair. Atlas is 4'6" and about 80 pounds with brown eyes. Jovian is 5 feet tall, 95 pounds with blue eyes. If you have any information, call the Chico Police Department. Nearly 200 people turned out for the 32nd annual Shasta County Veterans Service Memorial today.
Action News Now reporter Blake Mayfield shows us how those lost in the service of our country were honored.
21 local organizations and groups laid wreaths at the Veterans Service Memorial on Friday. The ceremony is held each year on May 30th, or the True Memorial Day, nearly 250 years after it was first observed to commemorate Civil War soldiers.
The ceremony takes place every year right here at the Veterans Memorial Grove at the Reading Civic Auditorium.
Dr. Ray John, a Marine sergeant who served in Vietnam, says the event wouldn't be possible without others helping put it together.
It's a proof of what happens with good volunteers.
Preparations for the one-hour ceremony begin in January, with Shasta County Veterans Service officers helping lead the way.
It speaks volumes about the community.
Reporting in Reading, I'm Blake Mayfield, Action News Now.
The next time Memorial Day Monday and May 30th line up on the same day, that will be in 2033. A big step toward better youth mental health in Butte County.
So what you're seeing right here is a concept drawing of the planned youth psychiatrist health facility being built in Gridley. The 16-bed facility will be at the site of a former assisted living facility that will be torn down in June. Action News Now spoke with Orchard Hospital representatives who say this is a big step for the community.
Even though we're a small rural community, we still have that high quality care that sometimes you see in the bigger cities, and we're bringing it here close to home for our patients.
The facility is set to open in September of next year, with the age range of patients to be served still to be determined.
We're following what comes next for Glenn Medical Center, at risk of closing due to a change in its federal critical access designation. The center no longer qualifies for the designation due to its proximity to Colusa Medical Center, which is 35 miles away. Congressman Doug LaMalfa told me this is happening due to the Biden administration starting a new mileage calculation process, explaining in part, it's unacceptable because of an arbitrary new mileage calculation in a county with frequent road floods to further harm rural health care after decades of service that is timely and nearby and saves lives. He says he's working with President Trump's health care team to delay the decision and says that he has obtained further review. We're told that the hospital will soon hold petition drives at local businesses as well. Starting Sunday, if you launch your boat at Scottys Landing on the Sacramento River, you will need a permit for access there.
The new owners of Scottys Landing have posted a sign that says locks will be changed June 1st, so you'll need a key. The new owners have a banner out front showing what the future holds there for the property, with a major rebuild and renovation in plans. We've reached out to the owners, but so far they're not doing interviews about the timeline.
The spot fires keep coming. We show you what happened in the Oroville area today.
New at 6, a Northern California city was ranked as top 100 best place to live for the second year in a row. We'll tell you which city when we return.